Hey everyone, welcome back to Auburn Clare Beauty, and today's tutorial, as promised, on the look I did for my review of the Let's Go Crazy palette from Urban Decay honoring Prince. So like I said in that review, this look turns out very pretty, just takes a few steps to do, takes a little bit of time, but it is worth it. Before we begin, please like, subscribe, and share if you like my content. Also, if you want to see other videos of mine, makeup looks that are not posted on YouTube, there's a link in the description bar below for those. So before we begin with the tutorial, I want to show you what brushes that you're going to need to use, or have similar, I should say. You really only need 3 brushes to start with. You need a fluffy transition crease brush. You need a little bit denser brush right here to put it on the darker color, and you need a flat brush right here. You're going to be using your fingers a lot for the lid color, so you don't really need a brush for that. But there are a couple other brushes that if you have them, great. If not, you don't need them. You can totally use your finger or the corner of the flat brush to do the detail work. But if you have them on hand, if you have similar to these 3 brushes, which is basically a rounded flat brush, we have a little bit denser, a little eyeshadow brush, and then a little detailing work brush. Very handy, but again, you really don't have to have these. The last one, before I forget, and I almost did, is just a clean brush that has some denser bristles to it that we're going to use to blend the color. So that's really all you need in terms of tools. If you're like me and you have eyelids that tend to crease metallic shadows, I do recommend a glitter glue, just any glitter glue. This is NYX's glitter glue. That'll help that shadow stay on better. And before we get started on the tutorial, I want to take one moment real quick to say a big shout out and thank you to all of you who have watched my videos, who are new, who are family and friends supporting me. Again, I can't thank you enough for taking the time. It's been a real adventure, and all your support keeps me going. So thank you very much. Now, let's get started. Now that I have you zoomed in, let's get started. The first color I'm going to use is that peachy shade, the Alphabet Street. So I'm just going to dip in with that Morphe brush, and I'm just going to go right into that corner and bring it across the top. And I'm going to be dipping back into this color a few times because, as I mentioned in my review, it's very light when it goes on. So it takes some time to build up the color to where I want it to be. And when I put this color on, I'm always angling upward. There we go. And dip in just a couple more times. Again, really trying to build up that peachy color. This is what's going to give this look its warmth, because so many of these colors, in fact all of them except for this one, really are on the cooler side of life. I want some warmth in this. So now that I have that nice peachy shade right up top here, I'm going to go next into the Get Your Groove On. And I'm actually going to go in just with my finger and put it right on the lid. Right underneath there. Just giving the lid a good coat. Which you can see it plays nicely with that peach shade. But again, as you notice, I'm dipping in several times to build up that color. Now what I want to do is I want to make this color really kind of sparkle. And to do that, I'm going to use the shade DMSR. And I noticed when I was swatching it, it's one of those shades that definitely benefits from having a base shade put on, which is why I put on the Get Your Groove On first. Now I'm just going to use a glitter glue because my eyes have a tendency to make makeup crease. So I'm just going to tap that glitter glue all over the lid. Now, if you don't have a problem with metallics or whatnot creasing on your lid, then don't worry about this step. This is just for me. I have a struggle with this, so I need to have that little bit of extra like tackiness on the eye. Now I'm going to go into that DMSR again with my finger, and I'm going to tap it all over. And really, I'm tapping and pulling, like tap, pull, but not as most of you know, the skin is so delicate, so it's a gentle pull. Now you can see how that just really made that pop, made that the shadow just kind of sparkle on the eye right there. That's what I'm looking for. Now the last little bit on here, I'm going to take the little detailing brush I have and just pop it into the corner right here, just to fill that corner out, just because my pudgy fingers don't get into the corner too well. Makes it difficult. Now what I want to do is I want to take that nice tapered brush here that I mentioned at the beginning, and I'm going to dip it into Funk and Roll. It's that little bit deeper purple color. And I'm going to go right just on the edge right here, and then bring it across, really trying to keep it in this crease area, and then bring it down a little bit on that purple shadow. And keeping it right up in this corner area with, again, angling upward to have it mix with that peachy shade from earlier. Now I'm not too worried about any residual tackiness from the glitter glue. I usually don't have too much of a problem with that, because when I'm patting and putting on whatever shade I am really trying to take off that tackiness. So you can see it's starting to build up that nice purple color right up in here. And I'm just going back and forth, back and forth. And if I see that the purple's getting a little down or higher up than I want, I go back into that peachy shade and go back over it again. And just kind of work those colors back and forth to blend them. I'm going to take just a brush with no product on it, just something with a little bit denser bristles, and just work that edge a little bit and across. Really just blending those colors together. Now, the thing for me when I was doing this, practicing with it earlier, I wanted a little bit more of a color to kind of bring this peachy color and this purple color together a little bit more. So I'm going to dip into that Raspberry Beret and mix it with the Baby I'm a Star. So it's going to add a little purple and kind of raspberry color to that. And then bring that across a little bit on the lid so it blends it. So it's just adding a little bit of a different dimension, a different flavor, if you will. And then bring that across. So get that nice and kind of worked up into that peachy shade. And again, I'm going to go into my little blending brush and just blend that across. Now this is where I'm going to take a step back from the lid itself, and I'm going to take my nice angled brush and I'm going to dip it into that. I'm going to go 3 shades: Delirious, Baby I'm a Star, and the Raspberry Beret. and I'm going to go underneath. And we're going to build that up. And I'm going to go about halfway with that shade to where it's about right in the center of my eye right here. And then I'm going to go wipe off the excess there and go back in to get your groove on and finish it up right under here to bring it together. Basically kind of blending in the dark into the light right up in here. Go back in. Just giving a little bit of depth right there. Now I'm going to go into a nice little, my favorite little crease brush for the under eye area by It Cosmetics. I'm going to go back into the original peach shade, and I'm going to go underneath the lid area, underneath the bottom lashes here, and just kind of blending this all together, angling upwards, because I smile a lot and that's where my smile lines go, so I like everything to kind of go in that direction. Now this is where I want the lid. I have so much purple on here that I want it to stand out a little bit. It doesn't stand out quite where I want it to, so that's where I'm going to go into When the Doves Cry, and I'm going to just pop it right in the center, almost like the like a halo eye, but really kind of concentrate it more lower on the lid, just so it stands out a little bit more and brightens that up. And to blend it a little bit more, I'm going to take the other finger back into that DMSR and just blend the sides together. So really, it's not meant to stand out on its own. It's meant to just kind of give a little brightness to that area. Now I am going to go into that little detail brush with that glitter glue again. I'm going to put just a dab of that glitter glue right on the inner corner of my eye right here. Again, you don't have to do the glue step. This again, I find that the makeup stays on better, especially because I do so much with my makeup on, including go to the gym and whatnot. So this just helps it stay, and it makes it stand out more. So I'm just going to go right in that crease area and then bring it up a little bit into that inner corner, and then mix it with a little bit of that DMSR. So now you have this really kind of bright, pretty inner corner going up into the lid and kind of blending everything together. Same When the Doves Cry, I'm going to dip into it with this nice little flat brush right here. We're going to do a little bit of highlighting the brow. Just right underneath that brow. You can see it just kind of gives it a little bit of a oomph. I'm going to go right and blend this right in here. And that's really all there is to the shadow. Now I'm going to go and step back and put a little lash and liner on, and I'll be right back. Hey everyone, welcome back. This is the finished look, complete with the other eye and some liner and lash. And let me go ahead and zoom you in just a little bit closer here so you can see that, and close my eyes a little bit. It turns out really pretty, but as you can see, it takes a little bit of time to kind of get the color to where you want it to be. But you know what? It's actually worth it. The whole point of this is to use this as a time to relax, have a little me time. So if it takes a little bit longer to get the color on, it's not a bad thing. Take this time and enjoy it. It's a very pretty look. I hope you try it at home and let me know how you get on with it in the comments below. I'd like to see your thoughts of the palette as well. Again, if you liked my content and you like my channel, please like, subscribe, and share. It certainly helps me out, especially being new. And I hope to catch you next time. Thanks so much for watching.